to your heart when he's calling for you. Listen to your heart. There's nothing else you can do. I don't know where you're going, and I don't know why. But listen to your heart before you tell him goodbye. Sometimes you wonder if this fight is worthwhile. The precious moments are all lost in the tide. Yeah, they're swept away, and nothing is what it seems. The feeling of belonging to your dreams. Listen to your heart when he's calling for you. Listen to your heart. There's nothing else you can do. I don't know where you're going, and I don't know why. But listen to your heart before you tell him And there are voices that want to be heard. So much to mention, but you can't find the words. The scent of magic, the beauty that's been. When love was wilder than the wind. Listen to your heart. Take a listen when he's calling for you. Listen to your heart. Take a listen. There's nothing else you can do. I don't know where you're going, and I don't know why. Listen to your heart before. Oh, listen to your heart. Take a listen when he's calling for you. Listen to your heart. Take a listen. There's nothing else you can do. I don't know where you're going, and I don't know why. But listen to your heart before you tell him goodbye.
Welcome, motherfucking welcome to another episode, another installment, the second episode actually, the second installment of Johnny Thrash Alive. We're taking it pretty chill today. Don't worry, we got a video to watch and everything. We've got a whole lineup of events to go down today. But I already started getting stoned beforehand. I've been smoking a little bit, toking up a little bit. However, I think that since it's the second ever episode, I know, that's a big accomplishment. We're going to be rolling a fucking joint. What do you guys say? Before we get into any videos, before we get into anything else, we're going to roll a motherfucking joint. I got my Iron Cross grinder, dude at the fucking smoke shop, because I broke the shit out of my last grinder. I had Bob Marley on it. The dude at the fucking smoke shop, last time, he said, he was like, well, the Iron Cross, isn't that like a war thing? And I knew he was probably about to start to call me a racist or some bullshit like that. But it reminded me of Triple H, because Triple H wears the fucking Iron Crosses. Either the finer cross or the fucking whatever. And the finer print says roll with it or roll with it. Fuck me, I'm thinking about a different song. Roll it. You damn straight we're gonna roll this shit. So you guys just sit tight. Get comfortable. Settle in. Sit down. All right? Everything's good. Everything's right with the universe at this exact moment. I feel great. Well, I don't feel great, but I feel all right. You know, I feel chill enough. As you can hear, ready. I'll put the grinder right up to the fucking mic. Listen to this shit. Can you hear that? That's the grinder. If you're not getting stoned while you're watching the show, what are you fucking doing? What are you fucking doing if you're not getting stoned watching this fucking show? Jesus, we're gonna be rolling. Oh, and I got. These are. Let's see. Came here from the Kumite crowd. Yes, Fire Print. Thank you again. Another special thanks to Tongasaw for shouting me out, retweeting my tweet. It was fucking cool. I feel weird about talking about it too much because I don't want it to try and sound like, I'm sucking his dick. And I'm like, oh, because this is nothing like the Kumite. I just got to say, put that flat out right now. Nothing, the Kumite community, I love. I enjoy them. I watch most of those streams. But I am not here to do the exact same thing that all of them fucking do. I'm here to get stoned and fucking enjoy myself with you guys. So there's no internet bullshit. I'm going to try my best to have no stupid ass fucking drama come my way. This is a place for you to forget about all of that. Kick your feet up, roll a joint, pack a bowl, smoke a blunt, and fucking laugh. Because we're going to be watching some crazy shit tonight. But I'll get into that in a little bit. We still got to roll this joint. This is the roll before we roll with it. And you know what? I'm going to take a hit out the pipe at the same time. I also bought a NOS energy drink. It says on the fucking top of the energy drink, it says high performance energy plus enhanced mental focus. And every time I drink that, I feel that's true. Like, I feel like I can focus way more and keep my train of thought when I drink this shit. And it especially helps when I'm getting stoned, because when I'm getting stoned, my train of thought fucking derails harder than any fucking derailing you've ever seen in your life. Every 2 seconds, you can't even catch a fucking break. So when I drink this, I do feel like I have, quote, enhanced mental focus. But that could all be fucking placebo effect. Because I looked it up. I was like, is this bullshit? And I couldn't find anybody who said outright that it was bullshit, but I couldn't find anybody who confirmed it either. So, it could be false. If anybody out there knows the answer, fucking type that shit in the chat or send it my way. Zach Lon B says 3 Ks in one sentence. Fucking, you can't be looking in that hard. Zach Lumby says, Lord Byron sent me this way. Again, thanks to Lord Byron. He's been coming by. I only have done one episode, but he's been coming by. You guys sit tight. I still gotta roll this joint. I'm sorry. I get into this thing where I fucking talk too much. Fuck it. I'm doing a podcast. What? There's no such thing as talking too much. Is this a podcast? Is this a live show? Is this a live stream? Radio show? I don't know. What would the genre of this be called? Because I feel like it's only a podcast if I'm on camera. Right? Maybe not. I don't know. But this joint's going to get fucking rolled, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm excited because I bought Juicy J's, which, haha, it's a fucking rapper. And it's also, what else? What is that shit too? Fuck it. I'm already high. See what I do to myself? It says on here, let's read it though. It says not for use with or sold for use with tobacco. Only for use with legal smoking herbs. Fuck yeah! Dude, that's amazing. Fuck yeah. Not for use with... Aha! Dude, that's... I commend these fucking guys. Every time you pick up a piece of rolling papers, it says, oh, this is for cigarettes. You're supposed to use this for this. You're supposed to use it for that. These guys, Juicy J's, shouting those motherfuckers out right now. They make flavored rolling paper. This shit's green apple. And they said, straight up, right out the fucking gate, if you're about to roll a fucking smoke with this, go fuck yourself. Light up that damn herb and get stoned. Which is what I'm about to do. I'm sorry. You gotta love when somebody fucking grabs their balls. People talking about mental juice in the chat. Oh fuck. You guys, we got a fucking doozy for you later. Once this joint's rolled and we're all settled in, we're gonna watch. There was this thing back in the 80s, early 90s called Satanic Panic, where our country, I actually know the whole backstory. There was a school, because I feel like crazy Christians just used to be fucking extra crazy back in the day. Because nowadays, those kind of people are, like, shunned from society. Maybe I just live on the fucking internet. Maybe in the internet age, you don't see them as much. But back in those days, when people didn't have, like, facts at their fingertips, there was just more crazy people. I don't know. I don't know how the way the fucking world works. I'm not, a political scientist or some other dumb bullshit like that. But Satanic Panic, basically, the heart of it was a preschool where the kids were getting molested or something like that. But in the interviews, the police, and people pressured them to say that it was fucking, witches and shit like that. And then so the conservative right at that time, which weren't getting exposed on daytime television every 2 seconds, still had a stranglehold on the fucking people, the crazy Christians of the world who bought VHS tapes to tell them what was satanic and tell them what they should be afraid of. People with mega churches, all that kind of shit. They used to make big fucking bank back in the day before, the internet was around to just expose them left and right. But it was happening on the news anyways. One of the biggest contributors to these Satanic Panic videos was a guy called Bob motherfucking Larson. And I've got I've got a beef with Bob Larson, to be frank with you. Because he is such a lying piece of fucking shit. He still lies to this day. Maybe I'll do a whole Bob Larson fucking episode later on, because I got plenty of videos to go at this motherfucker with, just to show you how much of a hack he was and how much bullshit he spews from his fucking lips. We will get into that on a later date, because today's your very first interaction, and it's one of his better productions. It's one of his better films, and it's called In the Name of Satan. And if that doesn't sound fucking awesome, I don't know what is. So you just fucking sit in and strap up, because I'm fucking grinding this joint. Once it's rolled, once it's licked, once it's sticked, and once it's lit, we're gonna get down and fucking dirty, weird and wild, and I hope that you're fucking ready. Roll the J before starting the stream. See, I thought about doing that. That was originally my plan. But then I said, fuck it. I'm gonna roll the J as the stream starts. Start slow. Bring everybody in. Anybody clicks on it. I know it isn't an immediate draw for people to just jump right the fuck in immediately. But I don't know. I decided to talk to people, have a little bit of a chat. In hindsight, I could be smoking the joint already and having a chat with people, but I decided to test it out, give it a little bit of an experiment. And I'll listen to it back later and decide if it was the fucking worst idea ever. Because that's how it goes. You never know. You can't figure it out. You got to roll with the punches. Go with the flow. Roll with it. Take it slow. Take your time. Say the things you need to say. How's everybody out in the fucking world doing, by the way? Because last time we were listening to music on vinyls. Today we're trying out a video. We're trying to find our footing, Those two, that was a non sequitur. Those two things actually don't have anything to do with each other. But, they might. Alright, here goes nothing. Bam. Flip that roller over. Start rolling this bitch up. Oh shit, there's some fucking little nuggy pieces sticking out. Come on, you fuck. Close that motherfucker. Roll that shit. Dude, I'm gonna be... This joint, this fucking J, about to go down, is gonna fucking ruin my life. It's been way too fucking long since the last time I smoked a J. We're gonna find... Is this not the paper? What is this? There's an extra paper on top of it. Is this a rolling paper? Is this just a... I don't know. I'm gonna keep that to the side. I'm not smoking out of it. This one has apples on it. It looks like the pattern of, a clown's pants. Fucking... These fucking joint rollers are fucked up. Oh, and the papers are a little bit too big, so we're gonna rip a little bit of a corner off. Fold that bitch up sideways. And rip that corner off. Open the fucking roller up again. Put the fucking paper in again. Come on, you fuck. That was a little bit too. I roll it up a little bit too. Holy shit, it does taste like green apple. Holy fuck. Well, now I'm excited. Because, sometimes you get flavored weeds and it's like, oh, this weed's this flavor, man. This weed's this flavor, man. But then you smoke it and it just tastes like fucking weed. I've never had a flavor of weed that's actually tasted like what I was told it was going to taste like in my fucking life. But maybe I just haven't experienced it. I wonder if the green apple taste is just in the glue part or if it's in the rest of the joint altogether. Because that's what I was thinking. All right, let's take a little couple pieces of that end off because it's a little bit thick on the end there. We don't need that. We don't need that at all. Put that shit on the floor. Yeah! All right. Let me put on my fucking headphones so I can hear what the fuck is going on. And we're going to transition now into the video. Thanks, Finer Print, for the words of kindness. And ever had pineapple diesel? Shit is dank. I have never had it, sir, but I'll keep on the lookout, actually. Put that one on the list. We now are gonna get into the video. I've already introed it. I don't even have to intro it again. Holy shit. We're gonna take our little logo off. You're about to see everything. So I'm sorry, I haven't quite figured that out yet. There's probably something you can do, but I suck at technology. So we're gonna take the logo off, take me off, put that shit full screen, and dive right in. Is it loud? Is it loud? That's a little bit loud. That's a little bit loud. Sorry, hold on. We're gonna have to start that over after I turn it down. Hold on, let me start over. Oh, fuck. If you didn't think that all these videos were meant to do was scare people into agreeing with whatever was about to be said, then that should give it away right now. Imagine you're a parent in the 80s. There's no internet. The word jump scare probably doesn't even exist in the normal mind. You put your VHS tape in. You're like, let's find out what this is all about, honey. Let's sit down and make sure that our kids aren't in anything fucked up. Put the fucking thing in, and then it comes in with this noise. You're like, what's about to happen? Boom! Dead fucking bodies right before your very eyes. Sweet, I'm in. Let's do it. You pick up a Christian VHS film, next thing you know, you're getting a fucking snuff movie.
People were chained, they were beaten, they were stuck cut,
Stuck
they
cut.
were bled,
Choose one.
and they would
Jesus.
give themselves freely for this.
I remember just constant, absolute terror, and I can't explain how intense, how strong, how all-encompassing that terror is, unless you do.
Wasn't that Rage Against the Machine album cover? I think that was that Rage Against the Machine album cover. You know, straight from fucking LA. Thank you, Nicholas Kreutzer. I'm glad you're enjoying the fucking show so far. I haven't even lit up this fucking joint. Hold on. Let's listen to this and hear what these crazy people say. This is the intro. If I'm pausing it every 35 seconds, we'll be here for 5 days.
Do this, you're gonna get killed. You're gonna die.
I watched
That was a
them
badass tattoo.
take the lives of children. I watched
Yeah,
them
sure you
take
did,
the
you
life
fat bitch.
of
I'm sorry.
my twin brother.
She probably doesn't deserve that. But I don't.
They
If she's gonna
didn't
sit there and
deserve
lie,
it. No, they begged by their actions to be killed.
Sean Seller. Jesus
This
Christ.
is inhuman. It's
I thought this was the 90s. I thought I was supposed to be a Christian parent and feel safe. Little did I know I stumbled onto the early century fucking version of Live Leaks.
absolutely inhuman.
Burn children for fuel.
I myself would like to go and crawl back into a corner and say this doesn't happen.
You should crawl into a corner, you
People
lying bitch.
simply don't believe that this stuff goes on.
Because it doesn't.
If we don't educate one another, it's going to be the crime of the 90s.
Excuse me, sir. Nirvana was the crime of the 90s. Oh! Woo! Pentagram! Iron Maiden, fuck yeah! Circle, Blue Oyster Cult. I don't know what the fuck that is. Rage Against the Machine. Triangle. Anarchy. Pentagram. Whatever the fuck. Go. It's so metal, I can't take it.
Satanism. To most, it conjures images of
As soon as he fades into the screen, how could you see that fucking comb over, that comb over bowl cut, and take him any sort of seriously.
Evil black masses or sinister deeds done for the devil. But simply said, Satanism is the belief that evil is excusable and attaining power to control people and circumstances is desirable. Whether you believe in a
Gaining... Hold on. We'll go back a second. I was focused on puffing this joint. I'm sorry. Well, what did you just say?
Whether you believe in a literal devil, Satanism. To most, it conjures images of medieval black masses or sinister deeds done for the devil.
I just think of heavy metal and a good time.
But simply said, Satanism is the belief that evil is excusable and attaining power to control people and circumstances is desirable.
Not necessarily. Satanism has a big fucking thing. I'm not about to sit here and give you a lesson on Satanism, because if I'm being real with you, they're the internet's first edge lords. What the fuck? It's all... Finer Print says, it's almost as if people had agency and made conscious decision to worship Satan. Yeah. Can you believe how ridiculous this shit is? Like, as soon as it starts, it's fucking ridiculous. But at least it gets right to the point.
Whether you believe in a literal devil is not important in understanding Satanism's effect on our society.
All right.
The evidence is in. Satan worship and satanic cults are growing rapidly. And
Can you present this evidence? I need a citation, please.
adherents of these ideas are becoming more vocal and more dangerous. These symbols of Satanism are turning up everywhere.
Where the fuck are you at, Bob Larson? You just got symbols of Satan in every fucking direction? What are you doing? Who else do you think uses this room when you're not there?
Everywhere. On walls, on clothes, on album covers, and even on bodies of murder victims.
Oh,
Law enforcement officials admit that satanic cults operate in nearly every
Wait a minute,
community in
Nema? Isn't Nema a disease? I'm fucking stupid. I'm sorry. It's probably like a different language word of the devil. Also, isn't that the Olympics in the background? What are some of these fucking symbols? I don't think anarchy is satanic. I think it's punk rock.
America. Young children from Oregon to Massachusetts
Satanas.
have been raped, tortured,
Natas.
forced to watch small
Nema and Natas. I don't know what that is.
animals killed during satanic ceremonies. School officials in many cities report high school students are forming satanic groups.
Fuck yeah! You know, when I was in high school, actually, check this out. Here's a funny story for you. I watched these things when I was still in high school, because I love this shit. And this is one that I've seen a million times. I love it to death. I forget every time how ridiculous it is. But back then when he said that, kids in high school... when he said kids in high school are forming satanic groups and shit, me and one of my friends, we made a Facebook page called the Satanic Cult of Fuck You, Bob Larson. And we barely posted on it. We just added a couple more friends, and then that was our high school satanic cult, inspired by Bob Larson. And one day, I get this fucking message from some dude, and he's like, I want sex, money, and power. Can you give it to me? He's some Nigerian dude who doesn't speak English, and he found our thing and thought it was an actual cult. So in broken English, he asked us for bitches and money, pretty much. And I sent him some big thing back about how he's fucking stupid, but it was disguised as like a satanic rant. And he never replied. So that's just a random facto about Hello.
A Chicago policeman told us satanic crime makes gang activity look like a nursery school.
If it ain't those blacks, it's the devil. Oh no, honey. Did you hear that there's a bigger problem than the blacks?
In this program, you will see the many sides of Satanism. You'll be shocked. And you may be tempted to turn away in denial of such unspeakable horror.
I'm
If
ready.
you think I'm exaggerating,
I
watch
hope you aren't.
closely. Listen to what is being done in the name of Satan.
Yeah!
Hail Satan! Hail Satan! Those were the words of Night Stalker Richard Ramirez. Ramirez is the Satan worshiper who now sits on California's death row after being...
Alright. So they got one. Okay, they got one. But he was fucking crazy, dude. Come on, this guy was a fucking maniac.
Convicted of 13 brutal murders. Ramirez often left satanic symbols at the scenes of his crimes, carving a pentagram on the body of one victim and on the bedroom wall of another.
I once saw
In his
this guy on a
formal
list of
statement
like
to the court
sexiest
at his
serial
death
killers.
sentence hearing, Ramirez
That's
said,
fucking
quote,
creepy.
"Legions of the night, I will be avenged. Lucifer dwells within us all." In San Francisco, former waiter Clifford St. Joseph was found guilty of murdering a man during an apparent satanic ritual. The victim's body had all the signs. A pentagram had been carved in his chest.
Brutal.
The body had been drained of its blood.
Brutal.
He'd been sexually abused.
Brutal.
And one of his testicles had been cut off.
Jesus Christ.
In Dade County, Florida, Frank Fuster and his wife were convicted of ritually abusing children at the daycare center they operated.
This is the one I was talking about. This fucking one, I don't know about the other two guys. Well, I know about Richard Ramirez. He was fucking nutso. And Satan wasn't the only reason he did it. He was just a goddamn psychopath. But the other guy, I literally have no idea about. The dude who drained the other dude of his blood. I don't fucking know. This one, however, is complete bullshit. The police pressured the kids into saying some crazy shit when all they were doing was getting molested. Now, that's fucked up. But Satan had nothing to do with it.
In their home. Children at the center said the Fusters made them drink urine, eat feces, and engage in sex acts during preschool games. The case horrified the community, and the prosecutor called the Fusters' systematic abuse of the children, quote, outrageous.
Yes.
And in the longest trial in American history, children who attended the
citation, please.
Martin Preschool in Manhattan Beach, California, told of seeing teachers in dark robes, watching small animals killed, playing sexual games, drinking blood, and eating feces. In a trial that many say was botched, none of the defendants was found guilty.
All right, my bullshit detector is going off right fucking there. In a trial that many say was botched, A, who is many? B, do they have any sort of biases? C, would that bias happen to be towards the case because they just wanted to be satanic so they could line their fucking pockets more and more by using another example that they could fabricate and exaggerate to help their cause? And D, or whichever the fuck letter I'm on by this point. Who gives a fuck? That's the real question. Who gives a fuck?
7 of the 12
That's not the real
jurors
question.
said they believed the children had been abused, and virtually every expert familiar with the case believes a satanic cult was operating out of the school.
Literally, it's so vague. It's so vague that you couldn't fucking possibly know the truth. How could you fucking know at all, to any degree, what the fuck he's talking about?
Of all the crimes committed in the name of Satan, the most heartbreaking involved children. The young victims of Satanism, the joy of childhood gives way to pain, darkness, and fear. Sometimes that pain comes from strangers, sometimes from their own families.
Here's the manipulation part of the
fucking
fucking
video.
video.
Of adults who tell stories of being raised in families where satanic rituals were part of everyday life. For many adult survivors, their childhoods were filled with torture, sexual abuse, cannibalism, and murder.
I was forced to help kill other children. I was forced to participate in their cannibalism.
Esther grew up on the East Coast.
No, she wasn't. Come on. Let's be real. No, she wasn't. Where were the fucking police? Where were the parents? Who is this bitch? It's not real. I'm sorry. It's just not.
Today, she lives thousands of miles away, but her childhood memories of bizarre satanic rituals remain. In the outside world, her parents were active members of their community, involved in church, school, and organizations like Little League and Girl Scouts.
Then how the fuck did she ever fall in with these fucking people?
And on the inside, behind closed doors, They and other members of their satanic cult forced Esther to endure repeated
What?
ritualistic.
So you're telling me that these people were members of the church, were involved in all the extracurricular school activities, were active members of the community, but on the side, they secretly engaged in satanic fucking rituals involving cannibalism and murder, and nobody fucking knew about it, and nobody ever stopped them? Sounds perfectly believable. Yeah, I believe it.
Attacks on her body and her mind.
There was a circle, and I was put in the middle of the circle, and there was a fire around me. During that part, I was told I was being married to Satan and being a child of Satan forever, and that kind of stuff. And then I was pulled out.
Can't think of anything else to say. That kind of stuff.
And
sorry, I accidentally unfull screened the fucking shit. Fuck.
Then raped by
There we go.
the men in the cult.
Most vividly, I recall about torture. I remember a lot of it very vividly. Being tied hand and foot and burned on my genitals.
Karen grew up across the country from Esther. Her parents were also well regarded in their community, but they too led a dark and secret life from which Karen is still struggling to recover.
How would these fucking people get away with this shit? They wouldn't. The police literally made some people make up what they were fucking saying. Yet they couldn't find out that there just happened to be all sorts of satanic cults run by stand-up fucking people. It's bullshit. It's just bullshit.
Today,
I'm supposed to believe these random fucking dickheads went through this crazy shit that doesn't happen. Because of what? There's no reason. What the fuck are they talking about? You'd have to be the biggest fucking idiot to believe this shit.
It's a national newsletter for other survivors of satanic cults. Karen's abuse was so extreme, she often passed out from internal hemorrhaging and pain. She remembers being raped by cult members and shut away for hours in a dark, scary place.
It was actually a closet and a welded wire cage, and the bottom of the cage would be open.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Wait, it was a closet at the bottom of a cage? What the fuck are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. In a very dark place. It was actually a closet.
And that would be how I would be put in it and suspended in a closet. And it was a very simple thing that they did. They just set a board inside the door and then dumped a bunch of snakes in on the floor, which I could see. They were probably even harmless snakes, but I was a child. And then they shut the door and left me in there in the dark, and I could hear it.
I was
What? So... okay. I'm trying to piece this together, I'm sorry. So at the bottom of a closet, there was a cage with a singular board over it, and they put harmless snakes in there just to scare her? Why? Why? There's no fucking reason. Why would they fucking... Where do they get the fucking snakes? There's one of two things going on here. Either this fucking bitch is such a fucking liar, a terrible liar, that's the only thing she could come up with, because her fucking knowledge of anything horror movie, scary related is just snakes. That's all she can fucking think of. Or B, she's fucking crazy and actually believes this shit happened.
forced to
Or C, maybe your cousins were just dicks and they were pouring snakes on her.
eat human waste, yes.
Christy also suffered horrible abuse at the hands of her family and their satanic cult. Even as a toddler, Christy says her parents forced her to participate in gruesome rituals, drinking blood, eating feces, and killing children. Christy finally escaped from her family.
So if she's assisted people kill children, shouldn't she be in jail? Shouldn't the police have direct names to the people they need to go fucking get? Of course not. Because it's all bullshit.
And underwent years of therapy. Now she can talk calmly about the years of abuse she suffered at the hands of her Satan-worshipping parents.
I remember being drug out of bed at midnight and taken to this dark cemetery where they would have rituals going on, satanic services.
Oh, how much more
various
cliche
things,
can
and
you
there'd be
get?
People chanting and the black robes. And I remember one of the first experiences
That much, I guess.
as a teenager where I watched them sacrifice a little boy. And he was blonde hair, blue eyes, just this beautiful little boy. He was about 5 years old. And he was...
Look at her fucking eyeballs. They're traveling through time and space because she's trying to figure out what fucking lies to say. All of this is ingenuine. If you can't see right through it, if you don't know immediately just by hearing this shit, that this is absolute 100% unfiltered, unadulterated, unedited horse fucking shit, then you're a goddamn moron. I can't mince words. You're fucking stupid.
groomed for this. And they constantly said to him, don't cry, don't cry. This is what you were born for. I did find myself screaming out at the injustice of it. And the high priest...
Also, why is she smiling so hard? If you were recalling these fucking traumatic events, I doubt you'd have this big fucking stupid ass smile across your face. There's no way.
At one point came over and tried to shut me up. And I said to him, God's going to get you for this. And he took me from the tree where I had been tied to observe.
That's a fucking movie scene if I've ever heard it. God's gonna get you for this, man. Yeah, sure.
And in this pit, there were the remains of human sacrifices, of babies, of animals, and snakes that they used in the various ceremonies. And in this pit, they...
Here's another story. One time... in my junior year, we were filming like a video that was supposed to be like a scene from Macbeth, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And me and all my fucking buddies, and we had all this shit on, like this black face paint and like pentagram shirts and all this stuff. And we had like a fucking, that thing that people always put shit in, the witches' bulls or whatever the fuck that is. You know those things? We had one of those fucking things. And we lit some papers in it, and we were doing these fucking, like, chants, because the chants are in the story with the video camera, and these fucking meth heads, because we were back in this corner at what used to be a fucking house or something. There was only, like, 2 walls left, and everything was covered in leaves. We were back there, so it's the perfect place to be doing fucking sacrifices. And the dudes looked over, and they looked fucking horrified. They were like, whoa, what the fuck? And we just looked up at them. I looked at them really seriously because I was freaked out. I was like, fucking meth heads. And then I saw how scared the meth heads were of the alleged Satanists. And the guy was like, whoa, man, we don't want any trouble. We'll do what we do and let you guys do what you do. Nobody tells nobody. And we were like, all right, man. And then he left, and as we were leaving, he was asking us, he was like, man, I've heard a little bit about Satanism. I've read about it, the daggers and stuff. Do you guys use candles? He started asking us all these weird fucking questions. And that was just one of the funniest fucking things I ever remember happening.
They put a cover over it and left me there for quite some time. I'm not sure how long. I lost track of time. I no longer knew when it was daylight or when it was dark because of the covering. And every so often they'd come and just take the covering off and just stand at the top of this pit and taunt me.
Also, Nicholas Cruiser, I believe, is how you say your name, mentioned schizophrenia. And this could very well be schizophrenia, for sure.
They made it to be like it was a great privilege.
Which makes this even
leave the
fucking
body.
darker if you really think about it. Because if these people are schizophrenic and all it's doing is, like, you know, taking advantage of them and adding in this creepy music into the background to try and manipulate people by manipulating people who are already fucking crazy, yeah, I think you're going to hell for that. If there's a hell, you're going to hell for that.
I mean, the girl that I had to kill, they treated me like I was being given a great gift when they gave me a part of her body that I had to eat. I remember being horrified, but knowing that my horror would not let me survive and that I had to put my horror somewhere else. The same thing happened when I had to have oral sex with a bunch of dogs. You know?
So... Oh, so you're telling me that Satanist forced you to suck off a bunch of dogs? Okay. Alright, man. That sucks.
What they were doing was they were cutting out the dogs' penises and stuff. And
Oh,
they made me
Jesus. And they were cutting them out, too?
have
What
oral
the
sex
fuck?
to bring out the penis so that they could cut them off. And I had to do that. I know that there were at least 12 dogs in there. And I mean,
12 dog dicks. What do they fucking need them for? Were they selling them in packages like eggs?
I never really stopped to count. I just remember that there were a lot of them.
There's a lot of fucking dog
and,
dicks.
You know, I couldn't have any reaction, and I couldn't go throw up and wash myself and all those things I wanted to do because I would be punished or killed.
They threatened me constantly with loss of life, my own life, the lives of others. I watched them
Could just said
take
murder.
the lives of children. I watched them take the life of my twin brother when we were just 4. I watched them kill animals. And then as I grew up...
If they were killing somebody as related as your twin brother, these people would be in fucking jail, lady. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Because if you're here telling this fucking story, then those people would be fucked at any point ever in their lives. So it didn't happen. Whether it's because she's crazy or she knows she's full of shit, it didn't fucking happen.
The threats became a little bit more subtle. It was always just don't talk. And that was real hard to deal with, you know, because people say, well, why didn't you ever say anything? Well, when you have such vivid memories of seeing your brother die, then you know not to talk.
Yeah, I wish it had never happened. I wish it never happened to anybody. I wish the losses have been tremendous. The pain.
You wish
has
the
been
losses have been tremendous?
Overwhelming. The struggle has been a lifetime of struggle.
Jesus Christ. Who draws this shit? Come on, people. I bet Bob Larson's drawing it, right? He's sitting at his desk. He's like, oh, yeah, and then they're cutting this shit off. Ooh, and then he'll draw a picture of a baby tied up. I bet he's fucking sitting there, and I bet he's jerking off, too. I bet he's fucking whacking it.
The incredible stories told by survivors come out in words and in the artwork they create. Sometimes the art is done as part of therapy. Sometimes it occurs during a private moment when a survivor tries
During
to
a
make
private moment and you're drawing that shit, you might need to be institutionalized somewhere.
sense of what's happened. These drawings by survivors from all over the country reflect similar memories of torture and rape at the hands of satanic
You could
cults.
draw this shit in 2 seconds. Oh, great, and she's got a fucking snake. This is... Oh, Jesus, she's cutting off his dick. Oh, what the fuck is going on around here? That one's awesome. That one's kind of cool, too.
Baby killing.
Every second they're like, what's the most fucked up thing we can say? Baby killing. Right here, let's draw a picture of naked bitches getting fucked by Satan.
Ritualistic rape, cannibalism. It seems like the stuff of supermarket tabloids or trash TV.
Yes, that is what it is. Good job, Bob. Gold star.
We can dismiss all of this easily, except for so many similar stories told by so many survivors. The reality of Satanism is even more believable when you talk to reputable therapists like those here at Columbine Hospital in Denver, Colorado.
Oof. This video is the worst thing to happen, the second worst thing to happen to Columbine, yeah.
They believe the survivors are telling the truth. Linda Young is a psychiatric nurse who works with adult survivors of satanic cults. Her goal is to help them move beyond the trauma of their experiences into healthy, happy lives.
Most of these people come to us thinking what's happening.
You know, how do I know that that was really filmed inside the hospital he was just standing in front of? They could have just pulled... That couldn't have even been a hospital. That could have been some random fucking building. And they just strolled up, set up fucking camera, dropped trowel, and then moved to somebody's apartment. Because for an entire fucking hospital, that sure was a tight, compact shot of one corner of one white wall with nothing else on it except like a pool table with some sand and some like shitty clay figures. Plus, this lady over here also looks like she might be fucking nutso. So maybe they didn't, you know, grab one of the teachers, what the fuck? Maybe they didn't grab one of the specialists at Columbine Hospital, and maybe they grabbed one of the patients.
Happened to them isn't true. They don't want it to be true, so they go back and forth. We call it the true, not true experience. When they're in a memory, they know it's true, and then they let the emotion out, and it's very true, and then the emotion goes away, and they say, oh, maybe it didn't happen. So that letting the world know that it's true.
It sounds like these people are fucking crazy and you're taking advantage of them. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like that they have some mental deficiencies and you're getting in there and you're like, let it out. It fucking happened. You know it happened. They're crying. They're like, yeah, I got fucked by Satan. And then they stop crying and they're like, you know, I think that's all bullshit. She's like, that's part of it. If that's what's going on, then she's a scummy fuck. Also going to hell, probably.
Happen, or it's a very good possibility in our lifetime that most people will not ever begin to believe that this is really going on. It's very important for them that they know that I believe them, that I know this happened to them, that I have no doubt that this happened to them.
All right,
Maybe it's not good. I don't think that's fucking important at all. Maybe it's important to find out if it did actually happen, not have somebody who's gonna reinforce their fucking bullshit. But then again, if you were looking for somebody not to reinforce your crazy bullshit, you probably wouldn't be watching anything by Bob Larson.
This is one where we have backward writing.
Dr. Walter Young is head of the unit that treats adult survivors at Columbine, one of the few inpatient units in the entire United States. Dr. Young has treated or consulted on about 100 such cases.
Maybe he's one of the few, because it's not fucking true. How about that for a rhyme, huh? Dun da 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 da.
That they know that I
rewound it because I'm gonna Google this fuck, find out his
happened
name.
to them, that I have no doubt that this happened to them.
All right, this is one where we have backward writing.
Dr. Walter Young is head of the unit.
Let's find out right fucking now. Walter Young. Oh Jesus, there's a million Dr. Walter Youngs. Dr. Walter Young, Satan. Female survivors, work resistant, repressed memory, multiple abuse. Dr. Walter Young, MD, and Bob Larson's video saying name with evil. history of witches of Dr. Walter Young of 20. So I can't find anything at all that credits this guy as a actual doctor. But I did find a page for multiple personality disorder, so maybe that has something to do with it.
That treats adult survivors at Columbine. One of the few inpatient units in
I wonder
the
if he
entire
still does that to this day. Oh, that's fucked up. I'm sorry.
United States. Dr. Young has treated or consulted on about 100 such cases. Today, he receives referrals from therapists throughout the country.
Says that she remembers and can cry. I guess the thing that's most compelling to me as a clinician is to hear reports from a variety of patients who do not have contact with each other, who report very similar stories, and stories which are shocking and alarming about murder and sacrifice of human beings, cannibalism, sexual promiscuity, in what appears to be a very ritualized, planned setting, using not only children, both boys and girls, but adults as well. We also hear similarities in reporting of being buried alive. And
something's fishy. Something's fishy right now. Do you guys feel it? Do you feel that energy from this video? Because something's not right. I couldn't find out who that last guy was. I don't know who this guy is. I don't know the context of that last clip. I don't see any proof of any of this. Anything. So, I feel like you just get that feeling sometimes when you're talking to somebody that you're being lied to. That's the feeling I'm getting right fucking now.
Then being unearthed and told that they've been reborn in the name of Satan. We have stories of people being married to Satan in marriage ceremonies. There are repeated reports of serial sexual assaults with the impregnation of a young adolescent and the destruction
I thought he was talking about sticking your dick in Lucky Charms.
Of that child, often by the mother itself, in the name of Satan. More recently, we're beginning to hear
drop, he said the fucking title. Woo! Woo!
more specific techniques of indoctrination and torture. Torture is very
Indoctrination and torture, coincidentally, is how I would describe this video.
frequently used to one, strengthen the individual to maintain secrecy within the cult, that is intimidation. It's also considered something to be desired by cult, that is the toleration of pain, the mixing of pain and sexual experiences and blurring the boundaries between them. But it's, quote, to make a good soldier for Satan.
What we're dealing with at this point, in my belief anyway, is a well-organized...
Isn't this the fucking lady
cult
from Golden Girls?
...group that is widespread.
Myra Riddell is a private therapist and the driving force behind the Ritual Abuse Task Force of the Los Angeles County Women's Commission. Experts like Riddell are convinced...
Hold on. We're gonna fucking look up this bitch, too. Let's rewind that again. We're investigating.
My belief, anyway, is a well-organized religious and cult-based group that is widespread.
Myra Riddell is a private therapist.
All right, Myra Riddell. All right, what is this place called? Because it shows the place.
And the driving force behind the Ritual Abuse Task Force of the Los Angeles...
Hall of Administration County of Los Angeles. Hall of You really get to hear how much of a fucking retard I am. County of Los Angeles. Los Angeles wants a transit-themed fair. Additional case. Ancestors kind of... Nope. Nothing. Nothing at all. Look. If these people are so high profile, if this shit was so fucking real and happening and you gotta be afraid of this man, then there would be some sort of record of any of these people existing on fucking Google. You know, the world's largest search engine. And now I gotta sound like some sort of spokesman for Google just to try and describe how fishy and bullshitty all of this smells.
County Women's Commission. Experts like Riddell are convinced Satanists can be found at every level of society. They are also convinced that the number of practicing Satanists is growing. According to Riddell, it's hard to get accurate information on satanic cults because they exert almost total control over their members and their young victims.
There are several purposes to this kind of control. One, it permits the rituals to go on with the complete cooperation of the individual who is being sacrificed in whatever way, whether it's being killed or burned or sexually used for the ritual purposes. And the other is one that concerns many of us a great deal, and that is that these kids who are being this brainwashed are being inculcated into a belief in Satanism on a very basic unconscious level. We, in fact, and they, in fact, are trying to raise a whole generation of Satanists.
Wait, you're trying to raise a whole generation of Satanists? Okay, that was a Freudian slip.
In the past, satanic cults have maintained their membership by raising their own children within the
This
cult.
is fucking creepy, dude. I imagine Bob Larson, what the fuck? I imagine Bob Larson went out there himself right after he got finished drawing those pictures and recorded this. The kids are looking over because they're like, "Mommy, who's that strange man standing over there with the camera?" And he's like, "Let me just get these shots of these kids running around."
Now experts see an alarming new trend. Survivors say that satanic groups are establishing preschools and daycare centers for the sole purpose of recruiting vast numbers of small children.
We are
Yeah,
hearing
sure.
from those survivors that there is a deliberate and concerted and well-organized, well-orchestrated effort
Go fuck
to
yourselves, you
infiltrate
dumb motherfuckers.
the preschool system.
And here's the spy shark.
Psychologist Catherine Gould is known nationally for her work in treating
Catherine Gould? Come on. Come on. You couldn't have thought of a more creative name than that? Jesus Christ. And why does she get to have her kid's face blurred out? Probably because you filmed him with permission, huh? Those other kids didn't know that you were standing off in the corner jerking off getting your fucking VHS camera out. You sick fuck. Bob Larson, you fucking creepy, disgusting pervert. Allegedly. I have no proof, alright?
children. She's deeply disturbed that Satanists are preying on children at such an early age.
The purpose is to achieve an indoctrination at an early formative age when a child is going to be most susceptible to being emotionally, intellectually, and spiritually hooked to the cult and hooked for life. The idea is that you get the child under the age of 6, you abuse them, you indoctrinate them, you use them for cult purposes, you break them down, you strip them of any sense of freedom.
You know, it kind of sounds like how you would describe a lot of kids who get born into the church. Especially some of those fucked up, creepier, you know, cousin fucky churches. That, you know, you indoctrinate them, you abuse them, you break them down and accept the Lord into your heart, son. If you don't believe in Jesus, you're gonna go straight to fucking hell. Give me that motherfucking White Stripes album so I can beat your ass because that shit's satanic, you motherfucker. Fuck you. Accept Jesus into your heart, or else you'll fucking go to hell, you little piece of shit.
To family or to the positive parts of society, and you have somebody who functions for the purposes of the cult. And the idea there, of course, is that the cult can call upon that person later in life.
Doreen Kenny is one parent who suspects
Damn
that
straight,
her daughter
Nicholas.
was the victim of satanic abuse
A lot of this
at a
shit
preschool.
stopped once we got internet and people stopped being such fucking schmucks.
In Southern California.
She had stomach aches, she had headaches, she would complain about various limbs hurting her, I mean screaming with pain, just absolutely screaming with pain. Night terrors, just horrible, horrible night terrors. She regressed from a 3-year-old to a 2-year-old, and she was back in diapers. Finally, one day, after being in school about 6 months, a little over 6 months, she had told my oldest daughter she was poked. And once that came out, I knew, because of all the things that had been going on, I just knew in my heart that she had been molested.
At first, Kenny assumed her daughter was the victim of sexual abuse, and she placed the little girl in therapy. Over many months, however, the real story began to unfold. Kenny
Did it, Bob Larson? You fucking sick creep. If this story, at least the beginning, is actually true, alright, there's a few things that could have happened here. These things did happen to the younger girl. That's fucked up. To be using it and manipulating that sort of situation. Sorry, I'm choking on my own throat. Because I don't know if Bob Larson even asked this fucking woman whether or not the satanic thing happened. If she's about to talk about the Satanism thing, then that could mean that she is also using this story. Because that's the kind of thing you would hear from most stories about children getting molested. So that would probably be what it is. And no matter which way they're about to spin this, that is fucked up.
Discovered that her daughter had been subjected to various forms of sexual and ritualistic abuse that paralleled activities common to satanic cults. 6 years later, her daughter is still haunted by fear.
The most frightening stuff that is still with her is she believes she's being watched. Every red car and black car that goes by is watching her. Every lady that dresses in blue are kidnappers. They will kidnap kids. These are things that she's been told. She has at one point, and as she continues in therapy, gets better and better, but at one point believed very much so that she was a child of Satan and that she actually had Satan's heart put into her. She still has trouble with that when you get palpitations, that her heart's going to explode, that because she's told.
Dr. Roland Summit is a
I
psychiatrist.
don't know about this. This is fucking fishy. I don't think Satan had anything to do with this shit. In all honesty, the little girl could not even fucking exist. But if she does exist, and that happened, then both these people are absolute pieces of shit. What else do you want me to say? Again, I think they're going to hell.
Psychiatrist who treats child ritual abuse victims at Harbor UCLA Medical Center.
That was fucking dark. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, what is happening around here? I'm taking out this fucking joint. Light up for a second, guys. Good lord. Good fucking lord. Can you believe these fucking people? They got no class. They got no fucking morals. How do you say your fucking prayers at night when you're going around doing shit like this, you fucking greasy dirtbags? Oh yeah, I'm alright. Sorry, fucking. I choked on my goddamn throat like my own spit. I was trying to do the serious voice, and then my voice fucking blew up. Sounded like I was getting really serious for a second. But that's fucked up, man. I'm high as balls, and that's not cool.
He says many satanic cults use intimidation, fear, and even drugs to make children keep quiet.
Children report being given drugs which makes them feel sleepy, makes them forget. They're told they're going to have an operation. When they regain consciousness, they have what looks like a scar, which disappears.
Notice how it's mostly fucking children, too? Because that's all they fucking got. They could talk to more adults and like, this happens to adults, this guy got murdered, this guy got fucking murdered. But they want to really get these people's fear by the balls. Your kids are gonna die, your kids are gonna get molested, your kids. Because it's preying on the most fucking primal instinct that people have, to protect their young, their offspring, the fucking life that's attached to them. It's trying to play into that fucking fear. But what it ends up doing is just making them crazy and have their kids resent them for being fucking stupid.
And they're told that something has been implanted inside of them. It may be a bomb, it may be the part of an animal that's been killed. And that will know if they're thinking about telling, and it will become armed and it will destroy them. So when children think about telling, and when they get nervous, There's a throbbing in their head, which they interpret as the bomb ready to go off, or a churning in their stomach, which may be the dog chewing at them. And from a child's point of view, they are now booby-trapped against telling.
It seems that Satanists will use all sorts of elaborate and insidious schemes to keep their young victims under control.
This is fucking creepy, dude. I've never seen so much footage of children in my fucking life. This is disturbing. I've never seen so much footage of children in my life, footage of actual dead bodies in my life, actual fucking scars, animal mutilations. If I was a crazy fucking satanic pervert like they're saying all these cult members are, this would be the first fucking video I would go to.
Consider the case of Ed Gallup, a Protestant minister, his wife Mary Lou, and their son Chip. All three were convicted of sexually abusing children at the 2 preschools they operated in Roseburg, Oregon. The children told stories of ritualistic animal killings and sexual abuse.
Hold on. We're doing another fucking investigation. Let's do this. The Gallup? Like a fucking horse? Alright, let's see here. The Gallup... Where's that fucking drink? Ah, Jesus, my throat's killing me. The Gallup sexual sex abuse trial. I'm so fucking dumb. It's hilarious. 12 suits accuse Gallup diocese of covering up sexual abuse. 12 lawsuits filed recently in Arizona. The Roman Catholic Bishop of Gallup protected Santa Fe, New Mexican. All right, there's an article about this shit from 2013. I think that's where they are. 12 lawsuits filed recently in Arizona charged that the Roman... this is an article by Santa Fe AfternoonMexican.com. The New Mexican. That's literally what it's called. 12 lawsuits filed recently in Arizona charged that the Roman Catholic Bishop of Gallup protected alleged pedophile priests by assigning them to pastoral duties in small parishes for more than 2 decades. Robert E. Pastor of the Phoenix law firm of whatever, and Jimmy, and these fucking pastors. Similar lawsuit, February. Alright, so... It's the opposite. It's the exact opposite of the other one. Oh, ritual abuse case. Which one is it? Is it the ritual abuse case in Port? Oh my god. ReligiousTolerance.org. Yeah, I'm supposed to fucking believe this. Alright, I found the actual one. Apparently, in a different place called Gallup, they're actually priests molesting kids. The Gallup family consists of the people that they just fucking talked about. Operated Gallup Christian daycare centers in Rosenberg, Portland, Oregon. Alright, let's try that. Gallup Christian daycare center. Oof, Jesus, is it still open? Wait a minute. Christian child care continues to... Wait a minute. Oh, no. What the fuck? Sorry. There's 2 Gallup daycare centers. Except one of them has a family of people named Gallup, and one of them is in a place called Gallup. But they're both daycare centers. Yeah, they're both Christian daycare centers. Did they get moved to a different fucking place because they were religious? Because if that's the case, then there's a whole fucking different story on the other opposite side of the coin. Jesus Christ. That means that they would have literally manipulated a story about people molesting kids into being satanic and ritual and all this shit, instead of actually exposing some undercover fucking molesting priests who just get moved around like everybody else gets moved around because they're religious. Holy shit. It's the exact opposite. That's always what you get with shitty people, isn't it? They fucking preach one thing while doing the exact same thing to get back at somebody else they don't like. Doesn't that sound fucking familiar?
With carrots, bottles, and sticks. Judge William Laswell, who prosecuted the Gallops when he was a district attorney, says the family intimidated their young victims by saying they had magic glasses capable of seeing into the children's homes.
Chip, is the youngest of the Gallops, had a pair of magic glasses, which is simply an oversized set of sunglasses you would buy at a carnival. His mother had a set too.
At least they know how to do comedy.
And the father.
And thanks to
And
Zach Lombe for saying I got a good
the
show.
children
Thank
told
you.
us that Chip Gallop would get up on the stage, put the glasses on, turn in the direction of where the child lived, and then make some observation about whether the child finished breakfast, put away his pajamas, left some tracks on the carpet. What would have happened is that Chip would have called the family and learned something about what happened that morning. And so when Chip told them that he could see into their home and tell them something that they knew had happened, they believed that he in fact could see them and hear them wherever they were.
Why is this guy smiling so fucking much? And wouldn't somebody be like, why the fuck is the guy from the daycare calling me and asking me how my morning went every day? And then at the parent-teacher conferences, none of the parents ever go, hey, because I imagine the kids, they make friends, they have to have play dates, the parents got to talk to each other, even though they fucking hate each other. And I imagine one of them would be like, did you ever get a call that asking what they were doing that morning? Yeah, dude, I get that call like every other day. Jim got that call too. Oh, I heard Barbara also gets that call every once in a while. I don't fucking believe it, you fuck.
And he had threatened to kill.
Plus,
their
he's
parents
smiling
and
too
harm
much. If
them
you're gonna
they
talk
fought.
about like some fucked up shit that
In
people
addition, he'd
did,
given
like a
them,
horrific event,
most
you probably shouldn't smile that much, dude. I'm just saying.
to them a photograph of himself, which he asked to have displayed in their bedroom so that he was always looking at them that way.
Wait a
too.
fucking minute. Okay, I don't believe for 2 fucking seconds that any parent would let their kids stick a picture of their fucking daycare center, runner, teacher, whatever the fuck you want to call him guy. I imagine that as soon as the kid brought it home, like, Mommy wants him to put this fucking shit up here, they'd be like, all right, well, we're grabbing the shotgun and going to pay him a fucking visit.
Crimes committed in the name of Satan are beginning to receive special attention by police officials. Several departments have established...
That was some good timing. That was directed, dude. That was like a fucking Steven Spielberg fucking action movie.
...cult crime units and are learning to spot the evidence of satanic activity. A number of investigators are working to uncover the links between survivor stories and existing cults. Others are looking into the possibility of a national or international conspiracy involving satanic groups. There's much to be learned, and law enforcement officials are just beginning to scratch the surface. But across the country, police investigators agree.
Every time it fucking, like, zooms into his face real quick, it frightens me. Because, like, he got his comb over right, but then oh shit, you can see in the corner where it's starting to flip up. But the way his beard is cut too, he looks like fucking SpongeBob SquarePants, like, creepy uncle. Because he's just got a fucking box for a head. He looks like Frankenstein.
Disturbing trend is emerging. The most vicious crimes being committed in the name of Satan are being perpetrated by young people in their teens.
Oh, is that true?
Pete Rowland and 2 other members of his satanic cult clubbed a 4th boy to death in the woods of rural Missouri. The group had been practicing satanic rites for years, torturing so many animals to death they lost count of the number.
Jesus.
They were obsessed with satanic books, gory movies, and heavy metal music.
Fuck yeah! Well, all that shit is awesome, but that doesn't mean that you gotta go fucking kill somebody over it. Everybody's heard this argument before. I'm not about to fucking retread it. But, of course, dude. Heavy metal and horror movies are fucking awesome. You ever sit down, get stoned as fuck, and just watch a fucking compilation of heavy metal movies while at the same time you're listening to fucking metal music when you're doing anything else? Because I did that for like 3 years, and that is the best shit ever.
After the brutal murder, Rowland said songs by the rock group Metallica drove him and his friends into a frenzy as they planned the attack. Eddie Krigler, an Arkansas youth, claimed he was acting under direct orders from Satan.
Hold on here. Alright. Devil... Because I want to look this up, too. I want to, like, figure out what the fuck's going on here. I don't really have the fucking names, though. Shit.
When he beat his parents with a 5-foot club, then stabbed them repeatedly with the same butcher knives he used to perform satanic rites. At the time of the attack, Krigler was recruiting other teenagers to form a satanic cult. In New Jersey, 14-year-old Tommy Sullivan stabbed his mother a dozen times with his Boy Scout knife. After that, Sullivan slit his own throat. Just weeks before
Satanism linked to son killing mother and them. I don't know anything about these cases. Like, I can't look them up because he's not giving me enough fucking information. I'd like to see some, legal records, some legal papers. But then again, he could forge that too. That's the problem with this shit. Like, there's no way of telling if this is the actual truth. And if there's one specific guy they mention, which I believe they probably will because they always mention this fucking guy, then I'll give you my theory as to why I don't trust this shit. Besides all the other dumb shit we've heard, you shouldn't trust anything. But I don't trust this.
before the attack, he told a friend that Satan appeared to him in a vision, ordering him to kill his family. For Ricky Casso, involvement in Satanism led to murder and suicide. Casso and his friends formed a cult called Knights of the Black Circle.
All right, I can look that one up. That's a fucking metal-ass name if I ever heard one. Knights of the Black Circle, right now. Knights of the Black Death? Cool. Circle. Let's find out. Ricky Casso. Oh shit, there's an article. A Wikipedia article. Let's figure this shit out. Murdered his 17-year-old friend, Gary Lawlers, in Northport, New York on June 16th, 1984. Two other teens, Jimmy Terreno and Albert Quiznos, I don't know how to say it, were present at the murder, which took place in Azteca Woods of North Pole, while all four were high on what they believed to be mescaline, but was most likely LSD. Jesus Christ, so they killed their friend on LSD? Fucking Jesus Christ, Facebook, shut up for a second, please. You ever get into a group chat and it's just ding, 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 but then you actually need to know what's going on? It's the fucking worst. The murder became sensational news in New York City and across the nation due to torture of lawyers and alleged satanic ritualistic aspects of the murder. Took place during a period when there was much public concern over the effects of Satanism in occult content, heavy metal music, and in role-playing games. Can you imagine that, dude? People thought Dungeons and Dragons was satanic. They're fucking nerds! There's nothing scary about anybody who plays Dungeons and Dragons, period. This boy was wearing an AC/DC t-shirt at the time of his arrest, and was fans of metal groups, yes. Let's see. Biographical background, what the fuck? I just want to know if it was actually Satanism. The conflict between Casso started at some time earlier when lawyers stole... Oh, alright. Now we're getting somewhere good. The conflict between Casso and lawyers had started sometime earlier when Mr. L stole 10 bags of PCP from Casso's jacket. After he had passed out at a party. Wonder why he passed out at the party. Casso confronted him soon after the incident, prompting lawyers to immediately return the 5 of the 10 bags of PCP. He promised to repay him $50 for the bags that had been used. Oh. And then this Casso reportedly beat lawyers on 4 separate occasions. On the night of the murder, he had visited a small gazebo in the New Cow Harbor Park and borrowed a radio from a friend, invited lawyers to get high with him, and those 2 other dudes. The group walked to Azteca Woods, set up camp, and just did several doses or hits of what they thought was mescaline, and then what they took was purple microdots. They were actually LSD. The teens attempted to start a small fire, but all the available firewood was too wet and would not ignite. Lawyers used his socks as well as sleeves from his denim jacket. Okay, so it sounds like these people were fucking crazy and on all sorts of different drugs. Jesus Christ. At some point, it became violent, bit him on the neck, and stabbed him in the chest. Jesus. He later claimed that the other two helped him during the attack. During the subsequent testimony, blah, 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 stabbed somewhere between 17 and 36 times, and his eyeballs had been sliced out. Good Lord. During the thing, he allegedly commanded lawyers to say you love Satan, but lawyers is said to have instead replied, I love my mother. Aftermath. Come on. Where do I get to the part where it's bullshit? Quiznos gave witness during the account that helped during the fucking trial. Due to Quiznos' drugged state of mind at the killing, his testimony was brought into question, and Terreno was acquitted of second-degree murder. Yes, his trial. Oh, and he committed fucking suicide. So he was probably trying to get off with an insanity plea, but he probably most likely was fucking insane, because this guy sounds like a psychopath. He had 50 bags of PCP!
One night, they turned on another teen, Gary Lowers, forced him to say, I love Satan, and gouged out his eyes before stabbing him to death.
Also, hello to The Killing Joke and Tennessee Marine. Nice to see all y'all here.
After he was arraigned, Castle hanged himself with a bedsheet.
Good.
Satanism is on the rise, and it is the crime of the 90s.
Jesus Christ.
Randy Eman is a police officer
Ned
who
Flanders
spends much of his time investigating crimes that have links to the occult. Eman believes the lure of Satanism is too powerful for many young people to resist.
The danger of Satanism in the occult to society, I liken to a narcotic. It's addictive. It's power they're seeking.
Oh, Jesus.
And when they...
You know, the Satanism war that we're on right now, it's kind of like the drug war, too. You know, I know for a fact that you conservative parents hate the drug war, so you'll just as much hate the Satan war.
They find out that they toyed with a ritual, and that ritual worked, they're hooked. It's just like the hook in the side of their mouth as a fish. It takes them one step further, and pretty soon, the hook is not on the side of the mouth. They have swallowed it completely. And it is a magnet, and it is a magnet that they can't go away from. It just draws them further and further and further. And pretty soon, they're not going with just lightweight rituals. They're graduating from candle rituals to wearing the costumes, the regalia with the ritual swords. They're going to the black hoods, to the animal sacrifices, and where may that take them? To human sacrifice.
Jesus Christ, they're all saying the same shit. Here he is! Hold on, let's get to this fucker right now.
Sacrifice. That's how far Sean Sellers went. Today, Sean is in solitary confinement on death row at the Oklahoma State Penitentiary. Sean was just 15 years old when he was tried, convicted, and sentenced to death for 3 cold-blooded murders, including that of his mother and stepfather. Murders he committed in the name of Satan.
I was mad at my parents. I was doing destruction rituals, you know, saying, Satan, kill him, get him out of my life. I tried to move out. They came and got me, wouldn't let me move out. And it just built up to the point to where I did it. I had this dream over and over again that I'd kill my parents, you know, that I'd sacrifice them to Satan in my dream. And like I said this before, I woke up and it wasn't a dream. You know, it was reality. It really happened.
If you watch any of these fucking old satanic panic fucking videos, no matter who it is, they always talk about this Sean Sellers faggot. This Sean Sellers little bitch boy was a fucking loser who had nothing going on in his life. So he decided to take it out on his stupid ass fucking parents. Sorry, the parents weren't stupid. I'm just mad at everybody right now. He decided to go fucking kill his parents, who probably didn't do anything. They just wanted him to get a fucking life. And then, when he went to trial, he thought he could escape it by continuing to be a little shit and saying that it was in the name of Satan. There was literally nothing connecting Satan to this case. They threw it in during the trial because it was a hot button issue at the time and it got a lot of press, so every single one of these motherfuckers started using it, even though it was complete bullshit. And if I'm not mistaken, later down the line, he said it was complete bullshit, I believe right before he was executed for being a little bitch boy. That's the fucking truth. Go look it up. Fuck Sean Sellers and his fucking asshole.
Murders took place in this house, in a well-kept Oklahoma City suburb where Sean and his parents lived. On the night of March 6, 1986, dressed in black underwear and a black hooded cape, Sean tiptoed into his parents' bedroom as they slept, pulled out a .44 Magnum revolver, and shot them both in the head. Later, he went back to their room, looked at the dead bodies, and laughed. What could have driven a young man to
Jesus
such
fucking
violence?
Christ. You know you have to go to the fucking dark web to see shit like this sometimes? You gotta search fucking deep. Well, you don't have to search that deep, but you gotta go to websites that don't get a lot of fucking mainstream advertisements, you know? So, the fact that I've seen more of this shit, more actual dead bodies in Christian home videos than I've ever seen browsing the internet on my day-to-day life is astounding, actually. I don't exactly know what to make about that fact, except for maybe I should watch more of these, because that's fucking awesome.
On the outside, they looked like a happy family, but the real story was different. From early childhood on, Sean was shuttled from relative to relative, or left with babysitters. At 10, one of those sitters introduced him to Satanism, and Sean was hooked. By the time he was in high school, Satanism dominated his life. He formed a satanic coven with a group of his friends. He kept a satanic diary and illustrated it with satanic symbols. He built an altar in his bedroom where he performed secret ceremonies. He wrote incantations to Satan, sometimes in his own blood, and he drank his blood regularly.
I began to drink blood because it gave me a rush. It gave me a thrill. You know, it was like, wow, I'm drinking blood, you know. And then,
Oh, he sounds like a fucking nerd. What an edgelord. I would drink blood because it was like, wow, you know, I'm drinking blood. Go fuck yourself.
and I began to like it. You know, the taste of it, I liked the taste of it. It was a very strange taste, and I liked it.
It
And got
tastes
to the
like
point where I
fucking
had
like
to carry
metal.
blood around with me all the time, because if I didn't, I'd get to thinking about it, and that'd be all I could think about. It was like it was craving, like, you know, I needed it.
Even at school, there were signs of Sean's deepening involvement in Satanism. When his teacher assigned an essay on how students had grown spiritually, Sean wrote about his dedication to the devil. He even read his satanic books in class. Yet no one intervened.
It seems like everybody was seeing that something needed to be done, that something was going on, and they were taking steps towards that, but they were all afraid to call my parents or to sit me down or whatever and do something.
All right, sorry, I had to pull it up because I went on that rant, but it had been a little bit since I really looked into it. And, so the reason he brought up the whole Satan thing was because he was trying to use Satanism as a way of getting out of the case. Apparently, it says here that he was one of the, what does it say here? Something about 22. Yeah, he was one of 22 persons in the United States since the reinstatement of the death penalty in 1976 to be executed for a crime while under the age of 18. But he tried to use here one of his last-ditch attempts to get found not guilty by saying that demonic possession was the reason he killed his parents. That's why he couldn't fucking actually get, you know, convicted for it, because it wasn't him. It was actually Satan in his fucking heart and soul. But guess what? The jury refused to consider either claim because it was such bullshit. And these fucking dumb fucks ran with it like it was fucking, I don't know, in a fucking, I don't know books. Alright, I'm not smart enough to know books that give you information.
Really make a commitment and do something because maybe it was because they thought if it was, you know, Satanism or something, you know, maybe it was religious and we can't get involved.
That's a good point, Tennessee Marines. Satan never seems to win.
Whatever.
Things continued to get worse until the night of September 8, 1985, when Sean and his friend Richard decided to undertake the ultimate satanic act.
We had decided we were going to break all the 10 Commandments to show Satan that we were completely dedicated to him, and we only had one more
sure, it's
commandment
all
to break, thou
bullshit.
shalt not murder. And that's what that night was to be. That night was to be this sacrifice. Get rid of these people.
My fucking, like, I don't know if you call it your heart or your soul, but whatever that thing is inside of you that just knows something, it's going off right now like a fucking lie detector test. All this shit is going on. It's just, it's not true. It's not fucking true. And the fact that they're trying to sell it so hard just makes me more pissed off than I probably should be.
Didn't matter anyway, who were in our way, who, by the instructions in the Satanic Bible, you know, said that they didn't deserve to live, you know? They begged by their actions to be killed. I'm on death row. I am at the bottom of the American life, you know? I'm at the bottom. I am the most hated person in America. Death row inmates, nobody likes. Death row inmates have no hope. That's what Satanism's given me.
Oh yeah, I feel so fucking bad for you. Cry me a river, you parent-murdering fuckface. Take some responsibility for your actions. Just as in death as he was in life, he was a little bitch.
George Berlanger was also seduced into Satanism as a teenager. Now he's 27, stable, married, and the father of a little girl. But his teen years grew violent as he became more and more deeply engulfed in satanic beliefs.
I was going to kill my parents. At one point. I took knives.
If you were going to kill your parents, shouldn't you be, I don't know, arrested for what? There's a thing for it, right? Oh, Jesus. I'm so uneducated about everything. You would get prosecuted for conspiracy to commit a murder, right? Isn't that one? I think that's one.
And I started down the hall. And I was going to cut my parents up. And for some reason it stopped. I was very cold, very demanding, very physically violent to my parents. Very physically violent. I used to punch my dad out. I used to hit my mom. I mean...
This guy thinks he's some sort of fucking badass. Look at him. He was probably some tubby bitch getting smacked around by bigger kids than him on the playground. And then now he thinks he can be cool. Oh yeah, I used to slap my parents around. I used to go up to my mom and be like, bitch!
The whole night without any remorse at all. At this point, my parents were so afraid of me. They were afraid. They were afraid for their lives. They put a deadbolt lock on their door. That's how afraid they were. In their own house.
Like many other teenagers who become heavily involved in Satanism, George came from a troubled family. His father was an alcoholic who abused George and his mother. George took out his anger at school and was expelled
I thought you
at
just
16.
said that Satanists were like in like upstanding, most of them were in upstanding like positions that you would never fucking know, right? Wasn't the first half of this fucking video about, you know, how Satanists a lot of times have respectable positions, and then it's like most Satanists, they're dirty, fucking disgusting pieces of shit.
Alright, dude. After that, he became totally immersed in Satanism, obsessed with performing rituals, sacrificing animals, and drinking blood.
It is a communion to the devil. The way that you ritualistically take the blood, do the spells with the blood, and ingest the blood.
Yeah, sure, dude. Come the fuck on. This is more role-playing. See, people think that the shit on the internet now is new. And it's not new. It's just reinvented. They reinvented the steel. These fucking people have been around forever, since the dawn of fucking time. Have these loser, LARPing, retard faggots, just to try and say every offensive word I can think of, been doing stupid LARPing retard shit and then bragging about it and thinking they're fucking cool. And this guy with his stupid fucking turtleneck walking around in that dumbass jacket that make him look like he has no fucking neck when he actually has like 50 chins. This fucking guy would have been behind a keyboard today talking shit in the comments.
Is doing a communion.
This guy would have been doxing fucking people on the internet.
To Satan. And when you ingest the blood, it is to accumulate power.
Fuck yeah, that's an awesome fucking drawing. I wish I would have drawn that. You know what? I'm gonna try and draw something like that. I bet I could make something look actually fucking kind of... Hold on, let's look at this. I appreciate this, actually. He's got the fucking weird, scraggly hair, but he's got some fucked up, brutal... He's got some brutal fucking vampire teeth, eyeball hanging out, so he's also a zombie. You gotta love the zombie. There's a weird skull on his spine with lights coming off, triangles in the background, the hand over here. Like, the background's so fucking abstract and crazy that it brings out this fucking monster in the middle. I love it. That was pretty cool, too, in a simplistic sort of way. I like that one, too.
It would be more comfortable to think the
That
stories
was kinda
we've heard are
shitty.
fabricated, or the exploits of a lunatic fringe. But if we believe the experts, Satan worship is undeniably real, and Satan worshipers pose a serious threat to society's well-being. During this program, we've heard from many victims of Satanism about tragic, alarming, and nearly fatal encounters with devil worship. We've listened to those who participated willingly and those who were victimized against their wills. We've heard reports of innocent children raised in a brutal environment of torture, and teenagers who were compelled to commit crimes and to kill in the name of
Jesus
Satan.
Christ, we get it.
All these accounts could make us question our fundamental faith in the decency and goodwill of humanity. But what we've seen
The only thing that's been making me do that so far is this fucking video.
should compel us to act responsibly and address the root causes of this terrible malevolence in our midst. Satanism thrives on secrecy. Its existence depends on concealment. That's why the bravery of the people you've listened to during this program is so phenomenal. They've spoken out, even under the threat of intimidation and death. Their courage comes from knowing that breaking the silence will save others from the anguish they endured or committed. Think about the remarkable consistency in all these stories and the blunt honesty of those who have suffered so much.
They're all bullshit. You don't have to feel insecure about saying something if what you're saying is 100% unfucking true. And of course the stories are consistent because they've probably been fed the same bullshit, or their mental illnesses are the fucking same, or you edited it together to make it fucked up. No matter what the option is, it's all unadulterated fucking garbage.
See beyond the atrocity of Satanism. Remember that many victims are still imprisoned by the fear that no one will help them, that no one will believe them. The seduction of Satanism will end when you and I confront this national tragedy by marshaling the forces of our schools, churches, community organizations, law enforcement associations, and social agencies. We must expose all the evil being done in the name of Satan. I'm Bob Larson.
And it was all because I thought that Satanism would promote me. I thought that Satanism was the ideal of self-preservation and would make me successful, would make me the person that I wanted to be. That's the biggest lie that I've ever seen.
I really believe that survivors need to know that there's hope, that they can live through this.
This is my truth as I know it. And I know that I didn't make it up because I know I was there. And I know that there will be people who will never believe it.
It's very, very difficult to confront the reality of this, because once you confront the reality of this, you feel such a tremendous sense of responsibility to do something.
You guys have no fucking idea how pissed off I am in this very moment. All of it was bullshit. All of it. Everything that you just fucking witnessed was complete and utter trash. Sean Sellers is a fag. Bob Larson is full of shit. These people are fucking crazy, and you shouldn't for a single fucking second ever, and I repeat, ever believe anybody who tells you anything even remotely the same as anything you've heard in this fucking video. Any piece of shit lying motherfucker in any facet, I don't know, I'm stupid, of your life is gonna try and come at you and say some stupid shit, and you gotta be able to see through it, tell them to go fuck themselves, lick your sack, suck your dick, and sit back, roll a joint, and get stoned with Johnny Thrash. I will see you motherfuckers on the very next episode. I hope you have a good rest of your fucking day. Stoned.
Stone.